want to read some more tariff news that we saw this week. The EU proposed increasing its tariffs on steel to 50%. And I'm quoting Politico's reporting here, but they reported that the proposal is meant to be a stepping stone toward a better deal with the United States, which also charges 50% on all steel. Does that indicate to you that President Trump's tariffs are having this chain reaction around the world?
I think we need to put this in context, and I always think, there's been a lot of focus this year on tariffs. It's really dominated the media cycle, very understandably, but I think we need to avoid being too alarmist. And I think one thing we've seen just in the last 24 hours is the WTO is a little bit more optimistic now on trade growth this year. And one of the primary reasons for that is, by and large, countries have not retaliated in a like-for-like manner to the new US tariffs. And I think that's broadly been a positive dynamic that we've seen this year. The global trading system is not falling apart. Merchandise trade is continuing to grow. However, clearly the shift in US policy has risks of causing, as you said very rightly, a chain reaction. And this looks like the kind of effect that we really don't want to see, where governments become concerned about cheap goods, or so-called cheap goods, being diverted into their economies, and therefore they respond not to the US but to other countries more broadly with punitive tariffs. We know the EU considers itself to have an acute problem with the steel industry and preserving the competitiveness of domestic steelmakers. That's understandable. What we don't know is the degree to which there has been genuine trade diversion, and whether the measures are warranted. What I can say is they appear to be inconsistent with the WTO, the EU's WTO, World Trade Organization, commitments, and they risk, I think, catalyzing a series of reactions that could be very, very damaging. So I think we have to be vigilant on this, that it isn't really the start of a process where we start to see far more protectionism, far higher tariffs in the global economy writ large, because that will do untold economic damage beyond anything that the US can do on its own.